All right, welcome. If you're watching this, it means we've just landed in Morocco and there's no internet, so I can't upload a video. This is my emergency Q&A video. So we're gonna answer some questions I asked you on my Instagram. If you don't follow, it's in the link description. It's linked in the description bar below. And I asked some questions in the question box. I also asked on my community page and my broadcast, I'm pretty sure, and in my Discord. So if you're not in the Discord of just people who like me, then join it. It's also in the description bar below. So let's answer some questions and then hopefully I have internet to post tomorrow's Vlogmas because that's gonna be a problem if I don't. All right, so someone asked if we've been to Saudi Arabia and if not, are we planning to go? No, we haven't. And I haven't been around there. It's near, Saudi Arabia is near UAE, right?
Yeah.
So the only country I've been around there is the United Arab Emirates, and we've been to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. How will we celebrate Christmas? So I'm not actually sure. Christmas is coming up, obviously, it's Vlogmas. I'm not sure how we're going to celebrate that considering I don't know where we'll be. I think, well, we just booked our trip to Morocco in the last video. So it'll be somewhere here, I believe. But I'm not actually sure what we'll be doing for it, to be honest with you. It's been like really hard to celebrate, you know, things like that while you're on the road. It also creeps up on you a lot. I'm working every day for Vlogmas, so it's hard to think about Christmas at this point. And to be honest, I haven't actually thought about it yet. Does YouTube pay enough money for you to continue to travel? So yes, but everything basically that I earn, I am putting and reinvesting back into the channel. So I'm paying for an editor now on my main channel and thumbnail designers and things like that. So basically everything that I'm earning, I'm using it to invest back into said channel. So yes and no, I guess if you're gonna put it that way, but yes, it's how I make my full-time, how I get to do this full-time. What's a dream country I'd like to travel to? That's a really good question. Actually, Morocco was one of them and we're going there tomorrow, so that's really cool. Just randomly off the top of my head, places that I'd really like to visit are like things like Morocco, Namibia, Bhutan was one of them for a while. I'd like to go to Pakistan. I've seen some really, really beautiful landscapes in Pakistan online. Where else? Iceland for me. Spain, randomly I want to go to. Now I'm just listing countries I'd like to visit. Canada, I'd like to go to Mexico. What are some other random little ones? I don't know, these are just off the top of my head. Do you know of any ones I'd like to go to? Countries?
Listening, would you say?
I don't know, I'll think of some later on.
Countries you'd like to visit?
Yeah, but yeah.
We've been speaking a lot lately about Central America and South America. You said you want to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
We've been speaking a lot about that, but...
So, have I ever been to Chennai? Yes, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, I made a video there. How far ahead do we plan your bookings? I always fear disruption. So as you saw in my last video, we booked Morocco and flew today. So that's, I want to say about 18 hours in advance, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So whenever someone asks me about this, I always say, I like that we have flexibility. So for example, if we like somewhere, we can extend our stay rather than being like, oh no, we have to leave tomorrow, we can stay. Obviously the downside to that is everything's cheaper if you book further in advance generally. So we always end up paying more, which does suck, but you are paying for the flexibility of being able to stay places that you like and leave places early that you might not vibe with so much. So there's that. Are you planning on visiting Ireland? Yes, so we actually were going to go to Ireland, but then we came back over to Eastern Europe to film some videos. Honestly, like this, especially second half of the year in 2024 has been really led by where we're filming videos for the main channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I do have a large channel. I hit 1 million subscribers this year, which is really cool. And where we are filming for those videos kind of has been dictating whereabouts we travel. We didn't film a video in Ireland, so we haven't prioritized traveling there. But the last time we were in the UK, not that long ago, now we were going to head to Scotland and Ireland and go over there, but we didn't end up getting there, and plus it was quite expensive at the time, so we ended up having to leave as well and not fall behind on filming for the main channel. Plans to take a holiday from traveling and go back to Australia. Well, since we're all the way, historically we have gone home once a year because we were in Southeast Asia and it's not that far to fly down into Australia, but we're not anywhere near Australia right now. We're in Europe. So yeah, I'm not sure. I might head home at some point at the start of next year, but I can't go home until I have filmed enough videos on my large channel that can come out while I'm home, if that makes sense, and would have to kind of be over there anyway, because otherwise it will cost too much for me to fly from Europe to Australia. We do want to go back to Southeast Asia, so whenever we do that, I'll be able to pop home. I've got a few things to do there, but the thing with that is that it doesn't really feel like home anymore, which is strange. So when I'm home, I sold my car to travel, so I have no way of getting around. I mean, I'll stay with my mum, obviously, she's mum, but I have nowhere to go. She lives in quite like a community where you need a car to get around. So yeah, I don't know. And then I don't have, it just feels weird to be home. Like I don't really know how to describe it. It doesn't feel like a holiday for me. It feels like strange that I'm home. It's really weird. It's a hard thing to describe. Heading to Afghanistan in May, what would be your #1 tip? Oh, that's random. Good, I like that adventurous spirit. My biggest tip, I want to say my biggest tip would be getting a guide. This isn't sponsored, but we use Let's Be Friends Afghanistan. The owner now lives in Melbourne, but his family, who was our guide in Afghanistan, still live there and can't go now. I just think it was a lot easier. Like we had to go to checkpoints and do all this, and we really like avoided having to do that ourselves by having a guide. I felt safer with someone there that could talk to them and whatnot. So I'm not sure how my trip would have gone if I didn't have them. Just also to reiterate, my guide wasn't a part of the government regime, so I didn't hang out with them. But that would probably be my biggest tip. You are a boy. I see that you're a boy asking me that, and I'm a girl, so I'm sure I probably would have a different experience to you. But probably get a guide, because you don't have to think about all those things. I do know that people do go there solo, and without one, that's totally cool as well. I just can't speak to that experience because I didn't have that. My favorite country. Well, my favorite country without question is Thailand. I can't not say Thailand. I absolutely love Thailand. And whenever someone tells me like, what's your favorite country? I just kind of skip Thailand and go to the rest of them because Thailand's always #1. We've spent, I don't know, maybe I only love it because it's where I lived for the first year of my channel, basically. And I got used to it, and it was my first place that we went. But I just love it. I don't know, it's affordable, it's laid back, the people are beautiful and friendly. I know a little bit of Thai, so it's a bit easier. The internet is so insane. Like, we're traveling through places here in Europe, and the internet is so bad that I can't even bloody upload a photo. And just everywhere in Thailand has amazing internet. I don't understand. My favorite of all time is Thailand, but some honorable mentions, probably Sri Lanka, Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan. Where else have I liked a lot? Gone to a lot of new countries this year. Just can't put my finger on. It depends on what kind of traveler you are as well. Like, I like places like India and all that, but I wouldn't recommend it to a first-time traveler, if that makes sense. All right, let's head to my community post. I'm so tired. I just got back from filming for yesterday's video. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh, I asked in the Discord. So again, join the Discord if you're not part of the Discord. Okay, so I found some questions on my second channel in the comments. Someone asked, what are your top 3 countries that you want to visit that you haven't been to yet? Which I kind of answered before. Top 3 though, I'll probably say Morocco, which is where we're going tomorrow. Maybe right now Namibia and Iceland. I also want to see Norway though. That's just what I have in my head right now, off the top of my head. And the second half of their question was, do you plan on visiting any of the nature parts of Europe? We've only seen you explore cities. So the reason for that is that we are traveling in between filming for the main channel. So for example, we filmed a main channel video in Slovakia, and then we had to go to here in Romania to film another video, right? But we had about a week and a half in between the dates that we had set for filming this video and this video. So what we decided to do is see some new countries in between, or countries at least. So we went from there, we were like, okay, well, let's spend 2 days in Poland, which is right next door. And then we had a cheap flight to Italy, which is where we just came from in Bologna. And then we made it here in time to film. So what we could have done is just not do that and just fly straight to here and stay here, but then we wouldn't be filming anything fun for the second channel, and we wouldn't be traveling, right? So the idea is for us to use that week, or actually I think it was less than a week actually. So we spent 2-3 days in Poland, 3-4 days in Italy, and then we made it to Romania to film. And that's, I mean, you can't really go and see natures in 2 days or 2 nights in Poland. And the other thing as well is that we work. So I can't just go to the, you know, a full day trip when we're leaving the next day and I have work to do. So yeah, it's kind of hard. Like, I understand if you were traveling and that's all you were doing, that there would be time, but we also work as we go. So there has to be work days as well as travel days. Does that make sense? So it doesn't really work that way. And the other thing as well, to get to these places, we've been kind of like, for example, we had another video in Amsterdam that we did for the main channel. And then there was another one somewhere else, Paris or something like that. And we had like a couple of days. So instead of going, oh, well, let's go straight there, like I said before, we'll go through Belgium, which is where we went on this channel, and then we'll make our way up there. So we're only stopping through for a few days each to get to the next place. So it's only a short stopover for us. In the future, I would like to come back and do the Balkans. So I would see more of the like, you know, beautiful buildings and mountains and stuff in the summer. Right now, it's also like really miserable, and I'm honestly hating the cold. I really am not enjoying it at all. It's not something I like being in, is cold. Not a fan. Maybe one day. But at this point in time, I'm just liking that I've ticked off some new countries as well, because I've been traveling for a long time, and honestly, I haven't really seen that many countries. So the fact that we've been able to boost through some places and just see them as we go has been really, 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 really good. Did I ask anything else? I actually don't know where I've asked now. I've lost it all. Can you do me a favor and go see if I asked in the Discord while I look at this? How do you live while you're traveling? So have you got... What?
Barely.
Yeah, barely. So have you got savings, or you're working and earning an income? So like I answered earlier, I earn all of my money from doing this. So there's quite a few number of ways that people make money, or I make money on YouTube. One of them is the ads. So when you see ads come up on my videos, I get paid for that. Obviously you don't have to pay anything, but I get paid. Brands, sponsorships, and affiliate links, and all that stuff are also ways I get paid. But that's how I do it. When I first started, I didn't.
Can we read some of the questions out?
Yes, just let me answer this real quick. When we first left almost 3 years ago, I lived off my savings, and I sold everything that I ever owned, basically, literally down to half-used perfume bottles. I sold them on Facebook Marketplace to earn money. I sold my car. I sold boxes and bags of old clothes. I sold everything down to like speakers, all of my possessions, to afford it. I had savings basically, and I just ate into them. Can you read me out some questions?
Okay, so this question from Niera on the Discord. You've already answered the first one, which is, from all countries you've been, what's your absolute favourite?
Thailand.
The second one is probably the same answer, but it has a spin that is interesting. Is there any country in particular you could see yourself retiring to? Thailand.
But honestly, I wouldn't retire overseas. I would go back home. And I get free healthcare in Australia, so not American. Next.
What is your least favourite thing about full-time travel?
I have a few least favorite things, but I would say my least is not feeling like you live or have a home. I kind of touched on this earlier, like someone was saying, go home and have a rest. Even when I'm home, I don't feel like I'm home anymore. I don't know, it's like a weird feeling that I don't feel like I belong anywhere right now. And I don't really know how else to explain it other than that. You don't really get to rest, right? You're always thinking about flights or traveling or moving or packing or whatever. And even if you are resting, it's not in your home. You're in a hotel or someone's Airbnb or something. I just feel like very, I guess like I don't belong anywhere. I think that's maybe the hardest part. And not having a break or a rest, a proper rest is really, really making me really hard for me right now, I would say.
You don't have to include me in this, but I would say from a home point of view, I agree with Josie. That's like such a... When you said it, I'm not participating in this video, but it hit me because it's so true. There are some places in Asia that we've spent more time in than home that feel more like home than home right now. And sometimes I feel like I'd like to go there to rest, because going home means I love my family, but going home means like got to see family and go and say hello to everyone. You've got to tie up all the loose ends you have with like bills or the licenses and things like that. There's lots of errands to do when you go home. Whereas if we went to say Chiang Mai or something like that, we've been there so much that it's not exciting. We're not feeling like we have to go do things all the time.
I don't know. Should I just... Is there anything else we want to ask? Because I can't find any more questions. You're really putting me on the spot with this whole like, where would you want to go in your dream destination part? Because I haven't had a chance to think about it.
Everywhere.
I think honestly right now I'm thinking a lot about Iceland, and we were gonna go there and we didn't. Michael's already been, so it wasn't a priority. I think for the last like month or two, we've been really trying to find places that both of us hadn't been to, while we're so close to a whole bunch of countries in Europe where you could just get on a 2-hour bus and go somewhere new. So Michael had already been there, and it's expensive, so we didn't want to go there for no reason. Iceland in my mind has just been in my mind lately, so I want to say Iceland right now. First country I traveled to. Hey, this is random because I was trying to work this out the other day and I still don't know. It was either when I went on a cruise from Australia when I was like 17 or 18, I think. I went to Vanuatu, or I did my trip to Europe like I talked to you guys about 11 years ago first. I don't know what I did first. I think I did the cruise first. So I think I went to Vanuatu first, but I don't even know if we stopped in Vanuatu first. So I don't actually know the first country that I ever went to. I don't know, actually. It must be on that cruise, because, But I was 17 when I went to Europe, and then I had my 18th birthday in England.
So were you 18 on the cruise?
Don't know. I feel like I remember drinking, but there was also times where we didn't drink. I went on like 3 cruises. So I'm not actually sure. It was either Vanuatu or the first country that I went to when I went on my Europe trip, but I don't even remember what that first country was. I think I flew... No, I don't know where I went to, but I definitely stopped over in the Singapore airport on the way, because I remember the photo that I had back in my camera at the time, and we stopped through Singapore airport. But I don't think I would count that as a country because I didn't ever get out of the airport. It was a layover. And then we didn't go to London first because it wasn't my birthday first. I had some countries where I wasn't 18 yet. So I don't actually know. I don't know. How do you manage things like medication and stuff when you're traveling? So that's actually a hard one. We don't really, like, there's a lot of things that I just ignore because it's hard to get like immediate like care or assistance, especially if English isn't the language, which is totally fine. If it's not, that's not, you know, the country's fault. It's my fault for being in it. But I do leave a lot of my things until I get back home. If I do, I've only been home like I think twice. And I usually do all of my errands there when I get there. And one of them is going for a massive checkup where I just remember everything that's gone wrong with me and then I bring it up all at once. And then there are pharmacies wherever you go. So if you need something like cold and flu, or we get melatonins a lot because our sleep patterns are really out of whack, things like that, there are pharmacies, and we've never had a problem with language with that. They are always like happy to help, or if it's something small, you can just do translate. Yeah, can you think of anything else for that?
I travel with prescription meds.
How did you do that? Oh, well, you can't tell them how you
I got the prescription in Thailand. I went to the hospital in Thailand and got a doctor to write me a prescription. So it's not an Australian prescription that's translated. I got a fresh prescription. And in some countries it's legal and you can't bring them in, and in some countries it's legal, and I just kind of think, well, I can't really not bring them, so I just bring them, and then if they confiscate them, they confiscate them, and no one's confiscated them yet. And we've been through a few countries where it has been illegal, but you're running that risk, and that's kind of one of the hard things. If you had medication that was like absolutely necessary for you to live, I'm assuming it wouldn't be on the...
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
It wouldn't be on the list anyway, because mine's ADHD medication, so it's got speed properties to it and things like that. So some of the ingredients in it are banned in some countries. So yeah, the best thing you can do is you can go on Google. ChatGPT is pretty good at this as well. I use it often. I'm like, is this medication legal in this country? And then it gives me the relevant... Now that it can search online, it gives me the relevant links.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, To answer your question, you have to do a lot of work to travel with prescription medication like we do.
Like you do.
Josie's absolutely right. We just kind of don't do it if it's something that's going to cost a lot of money or is likely to get taken away.
Well, I don't need anything prescription, so I just have to, you know, if I have my chronic back pain, so what I did before I left was go to the doctor and he prescribed me some really like hard medication that ran out like a long time ago. So as I go, I've been coming to doctors or pharmacies and being like, hey, what's the strongest thing I can get because I have severe back pain and I'm about to get on a flight for 5 hours. Speaking of, that's what I would have done right now to get to Morocco, so I'm gonna have to find something. I got topped up at a prescription place in England where we just came from for like really hard stuff for my back. So I have a stock for a while. So luckily I was able to get that, though I don't think I was supposed to. So
a lot of non-Aussies won't have the same trouble as us. Australia's really restrictive with medications. So you getting your back medication probably is prescription in Australia, but it's probably over the counter in England. So people won't have the issues. We have everything's a prescription in Australia.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
So people might be like, oh, you can just get that.
No, you can't. Yeah, we can't. All right, that's going to be the Q&A. If you have any other questions, maybe join the Discord. So if it's just a group, a community of people who like my channels and we just all chat in there and whatever relevant comes up. And in the future, we're going to work on it a bit more to make it more of a community with like, I don't know, maybe little games or polls or something like that. But right now it's just a group chat basically. So join that if you want to give me some questions in the future, and then also join my Instagram. Follow my Instagram. It's in the description bar below if you want to keep up with me and watch my stories more on a daily basis. But that's it. Tomorrow we will be in Morocco. Whoa! I think we're traveling there is the next video, but obviously, like I said, if this is up, we got there and there's no internet, so this is the emergency video to post. But I'll see you guys in Morocco. We'll be there for a while and hopefully like digging a bit deeper into it because we're going straight there. We were going to go to like, you know, from here in Romania to like Turkey, Tunisia, Algeria, all the way over to Morocco. But then we were like, well, we're only going to be spending 2 days in each place. That doesn't make sense. Let's go to Morocco and maybe go to a few more places around there. And I don't even know if that will be on the main channel. It'll just be for you guys. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas. Do not forget, by the way, to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell just so you know when a video goes up live. And I'll see you in the next one. What?
Looks so nice.
Yeah, look.
Bye, Europe. We're leaving.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to a new continent.
Go to a new continent. Bye, Romania.
We're going to Africa.
We're going to Africa.
That's wild. I never...
We're going to Africa.